Hey guys, Jeremy here with a top 5 fight scenes list from the Raid Redemption film. I've always wanted to do top 5, top 10 lists, but I only do best movies of the year, mainly because everyone does so many others, and I'm really kind of hesitant about trying to do what I think is best. But I'm pretty confident with this. I've seen this movie multiple times, and I deeply enjoy it. It's one of my favorite foreign action films. And oddly enough, there's only 5 fight scenes in this film, so I am quite confident with my choices. So, without further ado, here are what I believe to be the 5 best fight scenes from the Raid Redemption series. Number 1 is the drug room fight scene. Now this is kind of here for the sake of it being 5. The drug room fight scene isn't really... it's there, really. Yeah, Rama does some really cool fights on the table, like for instance he fights that guy on the table and they kind of make a sort of homage, not homage to Die Hard with lying on the table and everything, but he doesn't go under it, so it's kind of a lost thing. What I find sort of funny is Rama's doing all these really cool action scenes. The one other dude of the team who's not dead or severely injured is kind of doing some cool fight scenes. He actually does a few that surprised me. It's the sergeant who gets them into this situation. He's basically doing straight up wrestling moves by throwing chairs and like throwing people on stuff. And it's comical, but the problem is it kind of breaks the fight scene's intensity. Like every time we see Rama do some sweet ass choreography, then we go back to Old Man Yeller just like, "Throw, fuck you," with a chair. So I don't know. It's here mainly for the sake of being here. Now everything afterwards is an actual rating. So that's number 5. Now on to number 4. Number 4 best fight scene in the Raid series is Jaka versus Mad Dog. Now the reason why it's here on the list is because this is a fight scene you already know the outcome of before it even begins. However, the one thing that makes it so good is the fact that you actually kind of root for Jaka. There's a lot of moments where he gets a little bit of an upper hand on Mad Dog, and there are some moments where you actually think, well, maybe he might survive this. I love how it starts with the fact that Mad Dog's got a gun on him and he still would rather fight this guy. He talks about how it's much more of an honorable thing, and the fight choreography in this is nuts. It's a lot of flipping. There's some groundwork that turns into standing, that turns back into ground. But admittedly, that knee to the nose that ends the fight is awesome, and how slow and meticulous it is with how Mad Dog breaks Jaka's neck is an amazing scene. So that is why this is number 4 on the list. Now number 3, the machete scene. Now I was really kind of going back and forth between this one and the first hallway fight scene. This one is really intense. The fact that it starts off with Rama at the end of a hallway and he's basically screwed and he just charges headlong into these guys who have weapons. The evasion, how Rama tries to use the weapons but they pull him back. The fact that it goes from the hallway into this room and then out from that room out the window is really intense. The Somalian dude, I don't know, he just looks like, I don't know, this guy just looks like a really angry dude. He's got bug eyes the whole time and he's almost comical, like, just because of how much he's jutting his eyes out. But again, the choreography of this is nuts. The use of the weapons and the defense against weapons is really cool. It's a little bit because of, like, it's amazing how Rama's not, he's barely damaged by these guys. All 5 of them have, like, all 6 of them have machetes. So that's the one thing that kind of detracts from it. It is an awesome scene. However, it's just the fact that he basically kicks their ass hardcore despite what they have. That's why I put it here on the list. Still an amazing fight scene. Now my number 2 on the list is the first hallway fight scene. Now up until this moment, we're about 30 minutes in. All we've seen is really over the top gun action. For instance, guys with M16s who just keep on shooting really loud silence rounds, never seem to reload. And there's a cool kind of escape from the room. That was cool, but it's this part that is so incredible. My jaw was dropped to the floor when I saw this because, again, up until this moment I'd only seen what I'd seen on trailers, so I was waiting for this fight scene to start, and when it does, it literally just keeps you in your seat the whole time. How it starts off from Rama having weapons to basically fighting with his fists, and it is such a good fight scene. It's a little bit drawn back when he keeps on going to the injured guy who slowly crawling aloud really noisily and really annoyingly, but aside from that, this is still an awesome fight scene. It is basically the thing that pulled me into the Raid universe, and it is such an awesome fight scene. There's so many holy shit moments. I love it when he smams the guy's head against the wall to end it. That's an amazing way to finish the fight scene. But of course it is not the best one. Now most of you probably know going into this list what number 1 was going to be, but without further ado, here is what I believe to be the best fight scene of the Raid Redemption film. Rama and Andy versus Mad Dog. Now, did any of you kind of really not expect this fight scene? This is a fight scene that literally just keeps going. Mad Dog is kicking their fucking ass. Rama is beat to shit because of all the stuff he's gone through that day. His brother has been tortured for the last, we don't know how long, but the intensity, the camaraderie between the brothers, the fact that Mad Dog is able to take them both on with almost no issue at first, and every time that you think that they have an upper hand on him, this guy just gets to his next power level, and he just keeps on continually kicking their ass. Even when they stab him with a porcelain tube, he still keeps coming, and so they have to throw him on the floor and just rip open his throat. It's just such a satisfying end. I remember literally sitting in my chair going, "Yeah!" when they finally killed him, because of how spent I was after that fight scene. I could have smoked a cigarette because of how good that fight scene was. It's the pinnacle of Gareth Evans' amazing direction of the fight scenes. The choreography is at its peak best. Rama, Andy, and Mad Dog are incredibly up to the game of giving us one of the most kick-ass fight scenes we've seen in a really frickin' long time. This reminded me of the old days of like Jet Li and Fist of Legend, or Jackie Chan and the Drunken Master. Just like an unbelievably intense, over-the-top fight scene in which no real human could actually outlast this much damage and pain, but it's still an amazingly well-made fight scene. Anyways guys, that's my top 5 list of the top 5 best fight scenes from the Raid Redemption. If you guys like this list, let me know. Maybe I'll do one for the Raid 2. I'm meaning to do a review for that film. I did watch that as well. I'm really looking forward to, if I do a list of that one I already know what my number 1 is, because I love that fight scene every time I watch it. Anyways guys, that's all for me. Thank you for watching this video. See you guys next time.